Hi, this is Edward Koenig. I'm the owner of Carmel Hill Architects. Generally, one of the first questions I get asked when I have a meeting with a prospective client is, how does the process work? And I'm going to give you a short video of the services we provide and how we go about our services. Generally, it'll start with a phone call from a client, and they'll tell me the size of the project they've got in mind. And I'll advise them for our first meeting to get a copy of their property tax bill, property survey, and usually if they're in the town of Brookhaven, I'll tell them to get copies of their existing certificates of occupancy together for the house. You need those for filing in Brookhaven town. And then I'll come out and I'll have a meeting with them to start measuring the house. We do our measuring with something similar to this. It's a commercial laser tape measure. It's accurate up to 600 feet to 1/16th of an inch. So that makes it incredibly valuable for what we do on a day-to-day basis. We measure every room and get all our measurements down to the nearest inch. That way there's no discrepancies on the construction plans, the design plans, or the blueprints. It also helps the contractor in the field when he's doing his work because he doesn't have to make any in-field adjustments. From that, we'll start working on a floor plan of the house. We'll start working on measurements of the house. Measurements normally consist of something similar to this. This is measurements taken of the average setback, front yard setback of all houses within 200 feet of a property. You generally need these for all projects in Nassau County. And then also we have the measurements that we would normally do, the initial measurements when we do a property. These are our typical measurements that we take for any normal design project. We measure every room, every window, ceiling heights, and wherever we can we try and get the structure that is visible within a house. Sometimes we'll go down in the basement to see if the floor joists are visible, and we'll also climb up in the attic to see if the ceiling joists and the roof rafters are visible. After that's done, we'll go back to the office and we'll start working on an existing floor plan and drafting it on the computer. Existing floor plans will generally be basic rudimentary existing floor plans that will show us the existing layout of the building and what we have to work with and what we have to start with. This is an existing floor plan for a one-story house, and we will also draw the existing cellar plan. Once we have the existing floor plan completed, then we'll start working on a design. Generally, our design plans are pretty detailed. We show dimensions, room sizes, and in some cases we'll usually show floor furniture in the rooms to give the client an idea of scale. Without furniture, most clients looking at numbers just don't have any idea what size the rooms are going to be. As part of this design process, we also provide color renderings of the exterior of the house. This here is a project that we did where they purchased a property with this house, and they knocked this house down and they wanted to build a brand new house. So we came up with this idea for the project, and as you can see, when we do everything in 3D, we can give you every view of the house so that you can see what the house is going to look like before we start doing any serious construction drawings, because it's easier to revise this design in 3D than it is to revise two-dimensional blueprints. The blueprints are very time consuming, so doing everything in 3D allows us to make sure that everything is correct before we get into the more detailed construction drawings and specifications and structural drawings. If we happen to be doing a project that is more of an interior project, we'll work on a interior layout, like a kitchen layout, and then we'll also provide pictures and renderings of what the interior is going to look like. In this case, we did a kitchen interior where we took out existing interior walls to open up the floor plan, and we provided the client with renderings of what it was going to look like on the interior. Once we were finished with the design layout, we started working on the specific renderings, which we then provided to the client to show them what it was going to look like. You can see this is a colored line drawing showing the rendering, and we have a few of these. We have different views looking into the room. Now this is a ray trace. Ray traces normally take a little bit longer to provide, but they're more accurate and they're more realistic. This is another ray trace, and the ray trace shows the reflection of light as it bounces off of objects in the room. Once we've completed a project, we'll usually go back to take pictures of the existing construction, and in this case we have some very nice pictures of how the interior of this house came out. If you're looking at that view on that color rendering, I can show you what the final product came out to look like, and it was pretty close. So this gives you an idea of what we're able to do with an existing floor plan and then provide designs to get a final product. Once our designs are done and the renderings are completed and the client signs off on the project, then we usually start the construction drawings. Construction drawings are very detailed, and that's what that's all the information that the client, the contractor, and the building department will look at to issue the building permit and start construction. This is a standard set of construction drawings with specifications. This particular project was down by the water, so we had a concrete grade beam and wood-driven piling plan. First floor drawing, second floor drawing, detailed elevations, detailed sections, a very detailed window and door schedule and a finish schedule, plumbing riser diagrams, and they also had a boathouse on the back of the property. And then a few interior elevations showing kitchens, some kitchen cabinetry. We'll throw in some color renderings, black and white renderings of the project to be more descriptive for the contractor. And then our standard construction details. And now for the new building code, we're required to do air seal details to make sure that the building is nice and airtight. Also, as part of the process, we provide energy calculations for the entire project. And these are the compliance certificates that are required for permit filing at the building departments that show every window, every wall, and all the insulation values for the project. So from this you can see the typical project requirements and how we go about it. We normally charge 30% for deposit to get started on the project, 20% for the design phase, and then the construction drawings, when they're ready and completed, we'll send out the final invoice of 50% for the construction drawings, and the running of blueprints by a blueprint shop is a reimbursable expense. Those can be anywhere from $90 to $250 depending upon the size and number of pages in the drawings. So this is how a project normally goes about.